I ran up a check, I might do it again. Enemies close, had me thinking they're friends. 10 toes down, I'll be free until the end. Crib outside the city, I don't feel safe in my hands. Took so many years, I'm just waiting for the wins. I'm in debt to no one but the one who took my sins. I do it for real, there's no reason to pretend. If I do it once, I do it again. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up, I'm just doing me, everything is on me, oh you matter what. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up, I'm just doing me, everything is on me, oh you matter what. Add it up, told her if it's all me, everything is on me, gon' back it up. Matter what, told you I'ma do me, why you hating on me, it's not adding up. I do roll like a Mack truck, country heart, I might cop a farm and go act up. Lot of scars, I was cold-hearted, now I'm back up. Keep it real, I do this once a month, I don't rap much. I just take the money and go.
Hi, I'm Katie Brewington and I'm running for Magistrate Court Judge. Magistrate Court is often called the People's Court because people represent themselves or are pro se litigants. Magistrate Court handles civil claims up to $15,000, dispossessory proceedings, pre-warrant applications, and good behavior bonds. I'm a great candidate for judge because I have the experience, compassion, and drive to get the job done. I have been a probation officer, a criminal defense attorney, a solicitor, and a municipal court judge, and I will take all of that experience to get the job done. So remember, vote Katie Brewington, May 21st, for Magistrate. Can you hear me? Hello, beautiful people. This is Marie coming to your hearing with another show of Incarceration to Incorporate. I am here tonight with Mr. Charlie Brown. He's going to come on and he's going to tell us what it is to be a great mentor, what it is to be a great leader. But before I do that, I would like to give a shout out to Mr. Julius Hall for allowing me to have this platform for you to come and to share your stories and to give your testimonies. Incarceration is Incorporated is from the brainchild of AB. He is not here with us, and my co-host who usually be on with me, Mr. Julius Campbell. So I'm just here tonight. Thank you, Mr. Brown, for taking out the time to come in and to talk to the people. And he shared a lot of wisdom with me. So I know you all are going to love him tonight because he has much wisdom and much to say. So, Mr. Brown, I would like for you, when you come on, I would want you to introduce yourself and just tell the people who you are.
You gotta. It's coming across. You know, mute yourself. You know. Oh, yeah. First and foremost, good evening. It's an honor and a privilege to be on this show with you, Miss Jones. And I'm just so excited. I am Vice President of Black Media and Vice President of ATR, that consulting group. And over the years, I've done a lot of things, and I know I'm not going to be around forever, and I want to pass on as much as wisdom and knowledge I can to individuals that may need it who are young. And I think the biggest mistake individuals make, and a lot of times they talk to them and talk at them instead of actually listen to what they have to say. Our background, I come from entrepreneurship. I own 2 restaurants. At one time, I had as many as 22 employees. We ran the Savannah Entrepreneur Center from 2004 to 2012, which we helped marketing and put individuals where they need to be at. What we discover, a lot of individuals could not price out their goods and services. Just because you're a carpenter or a painter or something like that, you know the skill, but you don't know exactly how to do it. So I've been mentoring and trying to help people move to another level, which is so important. And today, I'm going to just ask you to listen to what I may suggest to you. Miss Jones can ask me some questions, but again, I want to talk to you and not at you. It's a complete difference. In my theme, what I often say, if anyone know me, the mind is like a parachute. It only works when it open. Keep what you need and let the rest go. Listen to what individuals say, but at the same time, you must listen to the individual. Just because you're young, but I mentor older people and younger people. The greatest honor you can pay any man or woman, when they speak, you listen to what they have to say. You don't always have to agree. Just listen to what they have to say. And never, if possible, cut them off. Let them complete a complete sentence, because you might miss something. And once you cut a person off a couple times, that person will shut down on you. When I say shut down on you, they figure you're going to shut them down, so you're not going to get their true self of you. But at the same time, that person have to have the ability to listen to what you might have to say. But if that person got a platform, he is trying to get it out to you, then I ask you, God did you a big favor. And I often say this, God give you 2 ears and 1 mouth. So you should use those 2 ears versus the mouth. I just wanted to intro and
Okay, so Mr. Charlie Brown, I wanted to have you on tonight, just as I said, because I have spoken to him several times, and I feel that he have much wisdom as he was talking. He have much wisdom and much to say. So I wanted him to come on because this is about mentorship and about leadership. So I want you all to hear what Mr. Brown, as he was telling you, that the businesses that he's owned, the things that he has done. So we all will continue to listen to him, give his wisdom, share his wisdom about mentorship. What do you think, Mr. Brown, make a good leader?
Well, a good leader have the ability to talk to individuals, and you talk with them in this manner. If you got a project you guys are working on, you use we. We are doing a good job. You talk, like I say, you talk to them and not at them. And you praise them for their work and their accomplishment, saying, we are doing well. You notice I keep putting we. You're putting that person with your equal, although I got years experience, but yet I'm mentoring them and I don't want to discourage them. So I'm going to talk as positive as I can to them. And a lot of individuals don't do that. What they start saying, you should go and do this, or you should do this, and that ain't the way you do it. You don't do that if you're mentoring someone. You simply say, we need to relook at what we're doing and see another direction we can go in to make this particular project you're working on work. And that's what you have to have, that ability. Because if you don't do that, then that person will be shut off, closed off. If they come up to you and say, I got a better way of doing it, you simply say, no, do it my way. You don't do it that way. You simply say, we will look at it. Yes, try it that particular way, because that way could be a great way. I'll give you a story right quick. My son and I was in the yard, and I was moving some Savannah red bricks. You don't know, they call them my alley apple, when you throw it and knock it through somebody's window. And the phone rung, and I didn't have a cell, I think, at the time, but whatever. I went into the house. We were moving bricks, and I was telling Charlie, I said, do about 4 bricks at a time because it was pretty heavy. And Charles said, Daddy, that'll take all day. And I said, if you can come up with a better way, and the phone rung, I was saying, if you can come up with a better way, I will, do it. But the phone rung in the house, so I ran in the house to answer the phone. And I must be staying there about 30 to 40 minutes. When I came back out, my son had done took a piece of tin, tied a rope on it, and instead of moving 4 to 5 bricks at a time, he was moving 20 to 30 bricks at a time. And I didn't criticize him, because if I'd have told him don't attempt nothing and say, you do what I tell you to do, but that ain't the way. I said, if you can come up with a better idea and make it work, that'll be great. And I thought that was an interesting story. You got to let them know exactly when you're working on a project, how to say, we are doing a good job. You're doing a good job. And encourage them and give them that leadership from you. You're not trying to make them a leader. A leader is not born. A leader is made, because for the fact that if you're going to be a good leader, you first have to be a follower. I was a follower for years, and I still follow great leadership, because that's what it's all about.
So, Mr. Brown, what I want to know is, the reason why I have you on the show is because I have Julius Campbell and I, we have verbal and visual, what we take and we teach system impacted youth, right? So what would you say of the youth today? Like, I feel that they're not high the way we were when we were coming up. So I would want to know, what would you say if you had a group of 10 young men before you and their system impacted youth? What would you say? What would you say to them? What would you say to them if you was their mentor? What would you say to them?
I'll wait on you.
Yes, sir.
You put it on right. One of the first things, I'll introduce myself, and I will ask each one of them out of the 10 to enter a little brief introduction of themselves and who they are. First, I'm recognizing them, and they're saying, oh, he is recognizing us. And I want them to tell me just a little bit who they are, if they got a nickname, or what would they like to be called. I will make sure each one of them share this with us. In the process, I will also ask them, depending on the project we got, and I'm going to say, I want you to say, we had to move something across the street. I want you to give me the idea, because I'm talking to them. Each one of you give me an idea how you will get it across the street, because I want your input. I will let them know that each time when they talk with me, that I want to listen to what they have to say, because it's important to find out exactly if they have ideas. It's not, what's the word I want to use? It's not a dictatorship on my part. It's a conversation part. I want to work with them. I want to make them feel important because they are important. And like I said, if you're going to lead, you lead by example. And you simply let them know, when I was their age or when I was in their position, I simply took orders from people. For instance, when I was in the Army, when I was a PFC, I had to take orders from the sergeant. So that's the key. But the sergeant was willing to listen to any of the ideas I had because he had an open mind. And it made me feel important. When you talk to a person instead of talk at them, the whole thing is different. I will give each young person an opportunity to introduce themselves. That will give them center stage to talk about themselves. I wouldn't get up and start telling them all about who I am and what I did and start talking at them, because I want to get their attention. So I want them to let them know we in this together. Teams win games, not individuals.
I like that, Mr. Brown. I just had to tune in. I like when you say teams win games, not individuals. So you got to let people know that you can't do it by yourself. And I'm gonna let you go ahead and finish talking, sir.
And one of the keys is that when you do that, you get them motivated. And when you get them motivated, what takes place, then they assert themselves because they have the utmost confidence. Because again, you giving them control. And when they do, you simply say, you are doing a great job. You are doing exactly what need to be done. If they are not doing it, again, you say, listen, James, Korean, or whoever you may be talking to, you simply say, why don't we look at another way? Can you come up with a better way that we can do it? And if you let the young people, because we live in a new generation, and I'm telling you, the young people have great ideas, but our biggest problem, Ms. Jones, as sometimes older people, we're accustomed, what's the word? We're accustomed to being obedient to older people. When I was a young boy, my mom, my dad, or my uncle talk is yes, sir, yes, sir. And I say, you go and cut the grass this way, and that's the way I want it cut. And I said, well, I don't want to hear you talk back. This is a new day and age. You know, I often tell people, let your young people be very aggressive, but make them responsible at the same time. When I say that, I really mean be aggressive. Just don't teach them to be obedient. Teach them to be aggressive, because if you want a great leader, you got to give them that opportunity to exemplify themselves. Everyone is not going to be a leader, but if a person know how to follow real well, they will be a great leader later on. And they'll know how to work among people, because I've seen it happen too many times. I've always got along with young people, and not only give me energy, I draw from them. Because like my son in the brick situation, I'm moving 4 or 5 bricks because I had him just toting them like this. My son say, it gotta be a better way when I went in the house. So he found a big piece of tin under the house, like I say, tied a rope on it. I didn't see none of this. I just came back out and I saw a lot of bricks was moved, and I look over at him. He was dragging it all the way across the yard and moving anywhere from 20 to 25 bricks at a time. So, you know, and I applauded him for it and I complimented him for it. Because I often say, if you give a man or a woman a ribbon, and hear me out, viewing audience, You give a man or a woman a ribbon, they will charge a cannon for you. People like to be recognized. Say you're doing a great job. It gives them confidence. We have a tendency to thinking that person might take my job, or that person know more than I know. I should know more than that person. No, that person can be more advanced than me, and that person can be smarter than me in some areas. I may have wisdom and knowledge because I'm older, if I'm mentoring that person. But guess what? Charlie Brown going to open both ears and listen to what that person say. If their way don't work, I will simply talk to them and say, why don't we try another way? I won't say what you did was completely wrong and get on them about it. It's not wrong no time. You know what you call it, Miss Jones? Life experience. That person simply experienced something that he can draw on. And then that history that goes into the history book. And the reason why it goes into the history book is because when that person attempts to do something else, he or she will draw on that history mentally and say, I tried that before. So.
So, Mr. Brown, today on 37th Street, the Savannah Police Department and probation and parole officers, they were up there to the SIP. It's called the SIP program. And guess what they did? I didn't know this. I went up there and I stopped to talk to John Bush them. And they had for the whole week, because the kids are out for spring break, for the whole week, they had 10 boys and 10 girls. And they were there like they were daycare from ages 5 to 12, and they was just saying the different things that they were doing. They had a big they had hot dogs, hamburgers, the food for free for anybody who wanted to come up there, and even the kids who were out there, they took them different places for the whole week because they out, like I said, for the whole week. And I think that was really, really nice. And I told the officer, I said, well, I didn't know that y'all were doing this. I said, but I think that's really commendable. I said, because a lot of people did not know. And also they pass out free food on Fridays on 37th Street.
You know what you just said, it is so powerful. I'm going to tell you what they're doing. I don't know who's in charge. I have to compliment that person, he or she, because I'm not on top of it 100%, but I can tell you what's taking place. They're treating that person, they say, we want you to see we're not your enemy. We want you to know who we are and what we're trying to do. We're trying to make a difference. So what they were doing, Ms. Jones, is creating goodwill, because what you just said was positive. Because if you didn't know that particular police officer or parole officer, you'll say that person is a human being. That person is nice. He's just not looking at me as like a criminal. He's looking at me as a person. And attitudes will change. You may not affect everyone, but you have to plant a seed to get it started. If you don't plant a seed and irrigate it, it will never happen. And I often tell people that is so important. And I plead the grown-ups, I plead the leaders, don't just talk at these people, talk to them and let them know they're important. Now, a lot of parents have a problem. And I'm bringing them into it because it's important. I want parents to continue to love their kids, but keep in mind, you're not your kid's friend. You can be friendly towards them, you can do things, but you cannot go out and do what they do with them, because you are their parents, you are the leadership. You got to lead by example to a degree. Allow them to express what's going on. You know, young people have a tendency to talk to their best friends in a group. And I let young people know, please, I know someone know everything about you and they are for you. If you got a problem, go to your mom or dad and let them know. They're not going to tell you what's popular. They're going to tell you what's right because they want the best for you. And the reason why, you are a legacy of them. That lineage is in you. You become them to a degree. I mean, they'll become you. So what the policeman and parole officer are doing.
They were out there, Mr. Brown. I went out there, and me and Julius Campbell, and they were giving out. The kids had the bounce houses. They had games out there for them, and all of this is free. And I didn't know that they pass out food. Is at the Savannah Impact Program on 37th and Waters.
Yeah.
And they pass, and on Friday, if you don't have no food, this is for people, our listening audience. And if you know somebody who may need something to eat on Friday, they pass out free food. And so he was saying, and then he said from ages 5 to 12, if your kids want to play, run track or play football or basketball or baseball, they're even doing that for the summer, and it's for free from ages 5 to 12. And they said that the same thing you were saying, Mr. Brown, that they're trying to build a positive. When we hear about the police, you hear the police, you think of negative, but all police officers are not bad.
No.
And yes, sir. So I think that was really, I think that's very commendable what you're doing. They said, because we're really just trying to keep the youth out of trouble. And just like I was talking to you the other day, Mr. Brown, and I was telling you what the trauma surgeon said at Memorial when we took the kids from verbal and visual there.
Right.
He was saying that the officer was saying, we're trying to keep them out of trouble, doing something positive with them, taking them different places. They say they took them to Dave and Buster's yesterday in Pula. So they're doing different things with them for free so that the kids will not get into trouble, because from ages 5 and 12, that's a good age to take and get them and try to talk to them, try to mentor them so that they can go be better and do good things, because kids are even getting into gangs as early as 8 years old, Mr. Brown.
Yes.
8. Yes, sir. So I just wanted to tell the people that all police officers are not bad, and that they really want to see the kids do good. And so Mr. Brown, I just want to know, what could we do? I know you gave a lot of good answers of, about being a leadership, about mentoring, but what can we do to help our youth? What could we do? I know we can't save everybody. My friend always said to Marie, you want to save everybody. But when it comes to the kids, I'm so passionate about them. So what can we do? I feel like if you can reach one, you reach one, I reach one, it can add up to a lot. Yes, sir.
I think what we have to do first is do what the police department or that impact, the thing you was telling me about. Like I said, I'm not up to snuff on that, so forgive me for that. We have to create goodwill. We gotta first, hope the parents are doing a good job with them, because it all starts at home. It does first and foremost. But we have to let the young people know that we love them, and the future is about them. Because when Charlie Brown goes in the nursing home, he will have some of these same young people to attend me. And I just hope they remember I was very kind to them when I get to the nursing home, if that's where I go, if God permit that. Is that we have a tendency to start faulting them and say, you're not good for anything. You play this technology. Don't do that. Say, let's make the technology work for you. make it work, and you talk to them about the technology and say the technology can't actually go and cook a meal. I know you can order it through Uber Eats, but you still have to make funds. Everyone cannot be an internet sensational and have money coming in. We have to create goodwill. We can't save everyone, but we have to still not giving up on a generation. We can't not give up, Miss Jones. We simply have to keep trying to plant a seed in one and hope it'll grow, irrigate that one, and then the next one. And association bring on similarity. If they see it, the other will do what's necessary. We living in difficult times, and we're going to just have to let them know the policemen not their enemy. They're not. I'm not saying some of them has got his moments, but again, we can't give that snapshot to them. If they stop you, put your hand on the dashboard. Don't be reaching for stuff, because they're looking for a reason, maybe some of them. So I'll say, yes, sir, no, ma'am. You can get more with sugar and honey than you can with dirt. Trust me, you can. And all I can do is tell young people, if you want to live a long, long time, I don't know scripture 100%, but I'm okay. Honor your mother and father. Your days surely should be long. And the reason the days are cut short is because the police stop and start reaching things. Why you stop me? And swinging their arm, giving that person a reason to do something, because the person thinks they're going to get harmed or be harmed. I'm asking young people, please be courtesy to each other. You can get more with sugar and honey than you can with dirt. Trust me, you can. I go places all the time, and I'm real respectful, and I go through fast food lines. I don't talk rude to those people when I'm in line, because they got to handle my food. And I teach my son and his friends that when they ride with me, they say, you always get good order, because I say, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, thank you. And those girls, young girls, the boys be way younger than me. Respect is respect. It got nothing to do with age a lot of time. And people going to be handling your food. You don't say, I want it this way and I want it that way. I don't want that food. If you order it, they're going to talk that way, because people act the way you treat them. If you treat them real rude to them, 90% of the waitresses, people I get, I try to lead by example. My son will tell you, I love to go order with my daddy, because they always give him nice service and treat him nice 90% of the time, because I treat them nice. One time he asked me, he said, Daddy, why does a lot of people like you? I said, because I like them. I like them, and that's why. And like I say, we got a generation. Some people say they want to throw their hands up. We can't. We have to continue to talk to them and not at them. That's the key.
Oh, that was very, very good. I want to take and we about to bring the show in about 5 minutes to a close, but I want to say this. Verbal and visual. I'm with OAA Offenders Alumni Association, where we take and empower and encourage and educate one another, because I don't care who you are in this life, you're going to need somebody. And Mr. Brown, can I tell you something? You would not go in the nursing home. I know that you're not my father, but you would not go in the nursing home. I will come to your house and take care of you personally myself, okay? But I want to say this, that we have to take and love on one another, especially the babies. I call them, even if they're from 5 to 17, 18, 20, they still our babies. And we have to tell them, when you see a young person going the wrong way, I always say it, and just like Mr. Brown said, you got to have respect. It's the way you talk at them. I remember when we had the kids at verbal and visual, and we had the mentor come out from the mediation, Miss Prelo, and she said those kids opened up so much to her. You know why, Mr. Brown? Because she talked with them and not at them. And the first thing, that's right, you cannot talk at them and belittle them, then expect them to respond in a good manner. They're just not going to do that. So I love what you had to say. I really thank you. Thank you, Mr. Brown, for taking the time to come on and to share your wisdom. It's a joy and a pleasure for me to even listen to you. I really, really, really appreciate it, because I know how busy you are. Yes, Mr. Julius Hall, you always busy when it's time for Incarceration to Incorporate to come on. That's all I want to say. So, but I just want to let you all know that if you see a young person that is going the wrong way, again, talk to them. Don't talk at them. Talk to them. See what's the problem. See what it's a problem going on. You understand? When we took them to that trauma place at Memorial, the trauma center at Memorial, and that surgeon was talking to them, you know that 10-year-olds and 12-year-olds are in ICU right now in the trauma area from gunshot wounds because they want to be in gangs, because they feel like a gang is a family.
That's true.
So we have to take and we have to talk to our kids. Do not give up on your children. You just cannot do it. They need love. It's all right to wrap your arms around your children and tell your children that you love them. Guess what? Stop telling little boys that they can't cry. A lot of the young men tell us, well, you know, they say we got to be tough. So guess what they do? They hold whatever they got within, they hold it within, because if they take and tell their mom or their parents how the way they feel, they think that's a sensitive. You know, you tell, oh, toughen up, boy. No, he's telling you that there's a problem. So we as parents, we have to listen. We have to listen. And they're not being disrespectful. I like what you said too, Mr. Brown. You say aggressively, let them be aggressive. You say how your son gave you a different illustration when you went into the house, and that was really good. He had them put it together. He's like, man, Daddy, it's a better way that we can go ahead and pull all these bricks. So
that's correct.
You know, so I think that's really, really good. So, Mr. Brown, we finna get ready to end the show in about 2 minutes. I want you to take, I'm gonna put my phone on mute. I'm so sorry, y'all. I'm gonna put my phone on mute, and I want you to give the people, tell the people, you know, encourage the people. What would you say to encourage the youth? Encourage the people, and then we're gonna end the show.
Okay, I want to first say thank you about the nursing home, and I appreciate that. I am getting up in age. I'm closer to 75 years old than most people think I am, and I thank God for that. One of the things is that life imitate art, and a lot of young people are playing these games on TV. The problem is, at the end of the day, you can start the game over, but real life, you cannot start over. Once that person is shot and that person died, they can't go and say, let's start over. You have to find a way to let them know that is not real. That's a make-believe. Please, I ask of you to understand, and what you've done by showing them the trauma center and things of that nature, they realize they can't start the game over with. I'm asking all the people who listening to this, I want to thank you, and I often close with this on a lot of subjects. The grass always look greener on the other side. Looking over there. But be sure when you move over there, you can pay the water bill because someone is keeping the grass green. And I say you talk to them and let them know. Please let them know. Somehow it's not real. Take them to trauma. Take them and let them be exposed to a wreck and let them see it. I understand it might traumatize some of them a little bit, and I'm sorry to say that, but I'd rather traumatize them to see them in jail or in the hospital or in the cemetery. You know, but again, there's a way you do it. We got to save our youth. We have to save the people, boys and girls. And when I say let them be aggressive, a lot of people may not like what I say, but I'm going to tell the truth and you got to hear me. This is important. When I was a young father, my daughter was in the dentist's office playing with different books and phone books and whatever they could put their hands on. It was a white couple with their kid there, and I watched that. And I told my daughter, sit down, stop. You know what I did? I taught my daughter to be obedient. I said, you sit down and stop now. But I noticed the white couple never stopped their daughter from tearing the phone book up, going all over the room. And I'm saying, why is not stopping that kid or whatever in my mind? And I watched that. So my daughter was taught to be obedient and then was taught to be aggressive. So years later on, I played on a football team. I was a co-captain, and my friend, I guess, was a co-captain. He happened to be a white person. And that's when I got the full blunt of it. And the reason I'm sharing this, teach your kids to be aggressive. The referee, it was a penalty. The referee said, I need a captain. We was about the same distance. We had it this way. You know what my friend said to me, my white friend? He said, this is important. I'll handle this. And I sat back because I was taught to be obedient and he was taught to be aggressive. So he went and made the call. And I never forgot that. And I say, I'm going to change my condition. I'm going to learn to be aggressive. It's nothing wrong with being aggressive. But at the same time, you have the right information. You don't be aggressive with no information. When people fail, it's only two reasons. I don't care what PhD you got on there, what ED you got on there. We will argue to the end of the world. People fail for lack of information and lack of knowledge. They both are not the same. Information is different from knowledge. Trust me, information you gather, but knowledge is something you retain and understand it. And I just want to thank the viewing audience for allowing me, Ms. Jones. I want to thank you. I did not know you was as pretty as you was. I'd have been on the show months ago. But all I can say, you're quite welcome. All I can say, please see what your kids are doing, what they got in their bedroom, and talk to them and let them know the games is great. I'm not trying to discourage you, but at the same time, it's not real. Try to talk to them. You are their parents and not their friend. Do not be out wearing tight pants or the daddy trying to be young with his son. No, he or she look up for you for respect to a degree. You are not their friend. talk to them and not talk at them. And again, thank you so much. I hope I can come back on the show again when the system is working completely good. It's doing all right. You have to put yourself on mute so we can conversate a little bit. Again, viewing audience, the reason we're on because of you. We asking you to share to the bottom, call your friends, let your friends know what Black media are doing. I'm Vice President of Black Media. I plead with people, and I'm asking people to share. This is for you, by you, and I say by you. Your input is what we put on the show. Because if we did not have you, we wouldn't even exist. So you make us work. Again, please share. Thank you so much. And I love everyone in Savannah, Georgia. And I love Mrs. Jones because she is a wonderful person and her heart is in the right place. And again, thank you, ma'am. And thank you, Giovanna, our producer.
Well, guess what? Thank you, Giovanna, our producer. And I want to thank you so much again, Mr. Brown, for coming on and sharing your wisdom with us. Thank you so much. And I like when you say be aggressive because they call me that. So now y'all heard what Mr. Brown said. So I can be aggressive long as you have the right information. That's okay, right. So anyway, I want to tell y'all thank you tonight for tuning in to Incarceration to Incorporate, and I want to say good night to everyone. Good night, Mr. Brown.
Good night.
Good night. Good night.
I like that.